Vivekanand Samiti IIT Kanpur is a student body that has been working for the dissemination and actualization of the teachings of Swami Vivekanand for the last 4 decades by motivating the youth community towards the path of human excellence. Vivekanand Youth Leadership Convention 2014 aims to inspire the students to imbibe and assert values of self-belief, fearlessness, perseverance, and above all, service to humanity. This BYLC includes talks by eminent leaders, workshops, school and college competitions, and cultural programs. Today's session is on leadership and social entrepreneurship. In today's session, we have 2 speakers, Mr. Anshu Gupta and Mr. Shobhit Mathur. However, Mr. Anshu Gupta could not be with us today due to health issues. So I take this opportunity to welcome our esteemed guest for today, Mr. Shobhit Mathur, who is the National Organizing Secretary of Youth for Seva. Mr. Mathur completed his Bachelor's in Computer Science in 2004 from IIT Bombay and Master's from the University of Washington in 2006. He was the first fellow of Yuva for Seva, a Seva internship program of Seva International. He returned to India in 2009 and started the Youth for Seva Hyderabad chapter in February 2010 to make Seva as a movement among the youth in Hyderabad. Youth for Seva is a volunteering platform for the youth and is primarily involved in the betterment of education, health awareness, environmental conservation, etc. to create a real lasting change and make the world a better place to live in. I take this opportunity to invite Mr. Shobhit Mathur to address the gathering.
Thank you for inviting me here. It's a privilege to be back at the IIT campus after so many years. And I would say that it's one of the most beautiful IIT campuses I've seen. I've seen Chennai, Mumbai, Delhi, Kanpur. So it's definitely one of the most beautiful ones. So I was very glad to be here, and thanks to Vivekanand Samiti for calling me here. If I had thought about this 10 years back that IIT would call me back to talk to the students, it would be unimaginable. Because I was never one of the students who would be talking to others on leadership, social entrepreneurship and topics like that. But things have turned out very different in the past 10 years, and I've taken a different route in life. So I'm glad that I'm back, and it's always exciting to talk to students again. And especially on this occasion, Swami Vivekananda's 150th birthday. I mean, it's an amazing thing, right? This person lived 150 years back and done so much in just 9 years of time, right? He just lived 39 years. He worked for 9 years of his life, and 150 years later we still remember him, and possibly 150 years later we'll still remember him. So, can you imagine the kind of contribution he has done? And it's very humbling to be here and talk on this great occasion of this birthday. So I try to keep it English-Hindi mix. Though I'm from Hyderabad, I don't speak very good Hindi, but Hindi mein jo apnapan hai, English mein nahi hai. So I'll try to mix it, and most of you are from the Hindi belt, so all of you will understand Hindi very well. So when Vivekanand Samiti invited me to talk and they said leadership and things like that, I was a little skeptical because I have not done something like this before. So I thought I will title the talk as My Lessons in Life, what I have learned. And I'm still learning, so it's going to be a long journey for me. So what I have learned so far, some of it might be relevant to all of you. So that's why. It's not about talking about my story because I feel I have done a great deal, but because I have done a lot of mistakes and I've learned from those. And what I have done maybe relates to you somewhere. Like for example, Bharat mein this story ka bahut importance hai, right? We remember stories told by a lot of people. There's nothing more inspirational than a story, because story we connect somewhere. If it's a general dry lecture, nobody connects. So I tried to put my life on a story. And आप सभी लोग जहाँ यहाँ पर है, I'm sure all of you will relate somewhere कि हाँ, this relates to my life somewhere. So take away points थोड़े ज़्यादा होते हैं जब हम खुद की story बोलते हैं, ठीक है? So I'll try to tell my story. I'll keep a lot of time for questions because I'm sure you'll have a lot of questions to ask, because the journey is a little interesting. Okay. Right, so I just divided my life into a few phases where I believe I some transformational moments, inflection points bolte some where things changed, right? So of course, born in 82 and in a general middle class family. My dad is a bank officer. He retired. My mom was a school teacher and I had an elder brother. So 80s में जो पैदा हुए हैं भारत में, they're born in very simple middle class families. Economy is not doing very great and फैमिली का होप यही है कि अगर अच्छा बच्चे पढ़ लिख लेंगे तो जिंदगी में कुछ बन पाएंगे, राइट? देयर इज नो बिग इन्वेस्टमेंट. इन्वेस्टमेंट इज ओनली ऑन एजुकेशन इन दोस इयर्स. हाउ मच यू कैन गेट योर चिल्ड्रन एजुकेटेड, especially if you don't have a great family dynasty to live on. So the focus was on education, and at that time there is no time to think about the country, its issues. बच्चा क्या रैंक आया बेटा यही पूछेंगे सवाल एट द एंड ऑफ एकेडमिक ईयर. फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड आएगा तो खुश, वरना डांट पड़ेगी, राइट? सो इट्स ऑल अबाउट आर यू स्टडीइंग वेल, आर यू गेटिंग गुड रैंक इन क्लास. दैट्स द क्वेश्चन. Fortunately I did well, okay, and I always did better than my brother. So I got the privilege of being the good boy at home. So let's go next. Alright, so 2 great incidents happened in my life in those entire 16 years. Cricket fans will know this. 1996 India-Pakistan quarterfinals, okay. So this is fun, okay, just to keep you excited. So we never cared about the country, but our only burst of patriotism came in India-Pakistan matches, okay, which happens even today, or India-Pakistan wars. So that is the only time we think about the country and forget the next day. So this was actually, it's 96, I'm in my 8th grade, okay, 8th standard. India scored some 272, okay, people all know how Jadeja hit Pakar Yunus that time, okay. So, and then these guys, the most fearful opening pair, Amir Sohail and Saeed Anwar, start hitting, and everybody is scared. And what happens is Venkatesh Prasad bolts Amir Sohail. The whole country is very passionate and they all shout. So that is patriotism, what we thought at that time, that India should beat Pakistan. And I remember at that young age, after India won the match, we all went on the streets and burst crackers. Okay. So that is one thing. And exactly 4 years later, when the World Cup again happened, in England this time, this was happening in Kashmir, right? It's the Kargil war. People who didn't live through the Kargil war must have seen the movie Laksh. So it relates very closely to the war which happened. But at that time we didn't care much. I mean, it was again, do we beat Pakistan, right? Did we win the war? That's the only patriotism. At that time, if you see an army man, we do salute, we are very proud of him. Next day again we forget about it. I mean, it's all over. So this was what I'm saying is the first 16 years of my life, thinking about society or thinking about the country never happened. It happened only in bursts, in very simple instances like this. And it was always forgotten. Because it's only about studying well and doing well. So, of course, we worked very hard. At those times, getting into IIT was very, very difficult. Even now it is very difficult. Very few IITs, not many good engineering colleges across the country. So, if you have to do well in life, you have to get into the IITs. So, to work very hard. And then, you know Hyderabad, you know how the coaching centers work, and we slog. And we made it. Okay, let me go next. So, that is somehow in 2000 we made it to IIT. I got a very good rank, and at that time, computer science IIT Bombay was the best. So what you choose, that's what you get. So I got through computer science in IIT, and something happened after that. So you can just go next. Right. So all these things came up. Okay. So I had no big exposure because I was from a very protective family. Like at home, simple family, right? I'll tell you what happened the first night when I was at IIT. So my dad comes with me. Okay, बेटे को कॉलेज में रुकाना है, एक रात रुकेंगे, ताकि he feels mentally fine. So he's there. In the middle of the night, one of my friends, I'll not take his name, he's here. He comes and knocks on my door and says, "चल ताश खेलते हैं." ठीक है? This is not what I have done in life so far. Okay. And my impression of IIT is यहाँ पर सब पढ़ा लोग होते हैं, right? अलग अलग देश से आए, और देश दूसरे पार्ट से आए हैं, पढ़ाई के लिए आए हैं हम लोग, और ये बोलते हैं चल ताश खेलते हैं. So for me it's very shocking, ठीक है? And then I chose Bombay. Most of my friends from Hyderabad chose Chennai. That's the first choice people take. So when you choose Bombay, most of the students who come there are from Rajasthan, are from Maharashtra, are from UP, Bihar, and different parts of the country. Typically not the south. South typically goes to Chennai. So totally different culture shock for me. So of course you know the Gali Galoj, all those things. Not being used to any of those things. So I got exposed to a lot of things, and I learned a lot of things. It's very, very important phase of my life because I met different people from different parts of the country. Extremely talented, extremely brilliant, a lot of them. I mean, I never faced that kind of a competition in life academically. So, very good. But one more very interesting thing happened in 2000. I mean, this is like 14 years back. It's difficult for you to imagine. Something called the internet came up big time. I mean, before it was there, but it was just there. कोई cyber cafe में कहीं तो you can go and access something called email. It was limited to that. Now you get high bandwidth connection in your rooms. Okay, that opens up the world. मतलब if you are there, you will realize this. I mean, people have seen the smartphone revolution. That's nothing compared to when you get connected to the internet 24/7, high bandwidth. Okay. So we got on there, and then the first thing we do is we download all this stuff. Okay. These are my two favorite movies. I used to watch them so many times. This is favorite sitcoms. A lot of people, I don't know if it's still a fashion today to watch Friends, but we used to watch that. So we did these things. So क्या होता है when the world gets exposed to you at such rapid pace? मतलब mentally मैं वहाँ हूँ नहीं. I mean I'm learning every day so many things. So too much exposure, too much things, and we have to handle it. माँ बाप पास में नहीं है, कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछने के लिए दोस्त नहीं बनाने पड़ते हैं, हॉबीज नहीं बनाने पड़ते हैं, खुद से समय निकालना पड़ता है पढ़ाई के लिए, खेल के लिए, सब के लिए. So we handle some things well, we don't handle some things very well. So we made some mistakes with a lot of things. So but I learned a lot of things, and of course I was a computer geek. I used to play around with something called Red Hat Linux 7. 6.1 was the version which came up. I don't know, I am not in touch with Linux, but it's gone much further than that. So we used to do all these things. एक और चीज very interesting thing in my life happened at that time was, fortunately I was good at studies, and my faculty advisor guide जो होता है IT में, he sent me to France to do my internship. So now that's like a dream come true. मतलब you don't often get a chance like that. So I just go to a French speaking country जहाँ पे कोई English बात नहीं करता है, and I stayed there for 2 months. Did some work, I did a lot of time pass, a lot of things happened. But I saw the West for the first time. सीधे से I saw West. I mean, this is the scene like right in front of Eiffel Tower in the night when it's lit up in the lawn there, everybody doing different things. So West का जो चस्का लगा, right? It's like, man, this is beautiful, right? And I already had all this exposure about the movies, Hollywood, these things. I was like a freak watching movies. So the West is beautiful. जो आज भी कई सारे लोगों के मन में है कि White is beautiful, West is beautiful, that kind of mindset. तो बहुत ही ज़्यादा it came into my head. And then being from the south, typically from Andhra Pradesh, the American dream is the biggest dream. So you can see the American dream. I put the eagle there. So you have to sit on the eagle and fly to America. If you fly, if you are in America, you have made it in life. एक benchmark है success का. कि अमेरिका में कदम रख दिया तो जन्नत में कदम रख दिया. Like that kind of thing. Otherwise you're a failure in life. This is the mindset. Because at that time, unlike today, there were not too many MNCs coming and recruiting people. And doing simple things, ending up in the West and working for some company, sending dollars home. That is the biggest dream any family can have. So, I'm saying this is the phase of my life where I learned a lot of things, and the huge fascination for the West came up. In the entire IIT batch, there were just a couple of people who didn't sit for placements. And one of them was me, in my batch. Placements के लिए apply भी नहीं किया. It's very shocking. मतलब क्यों? Because anyway placements are going to happen for Indian companies, right? So I want to go to the US. So why should I sit for placements and khapao my brain on interviews and all these things? Rather I'll apply and I'll get it. And I was fairly good CGPA जो बोलते. So I knew something will happen. So I never even thought about doing these things. But a lot of lessons I learned in IIT, which looking back I think I should have done better. One is that I was क्या बोलते हैं, रूम में बैठा था. Like just I never participated in a lot of cultural activities. I never participated in a lot of sport activities. I was good at literary activities, quizzes, debates, kabhi, right? All those small things. Hostel में computer secretary for 2 years. Then institute में भी कुछ computers, I took some roles. But कभी मैंने जाकर उस टाइम पे मैं कभी समझा नहीं what is the importance of participating in cultural activities. जो लोगों से मिलने को मिलता है. I had a lot of opportunity, lot of chances. पर कभी भी avoid किया उन चीज़ों को. I have made so many amazing friends who are doing so many amazing things now. वो IIT में रहकर ही हो सकता है. Because all over the country से लोग आ रहे हैं. Amazing, genius. I mean, like impressive people. So I made a lot of good friends, which I felt was very very important in my life. जो आगे जाकर हुआ. It gives you confidence basically कि हम कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. IIT का थप्पा हमारे ऊपर है. I didn't make the best use of it after IIT. वो आगे जाकर हुआ, but still. So I go to US in 2004. I end up there, and I joined the PhD program, frankly, in University of Washington, Seattle, computer science. One of the top 5-6 colleges, universities in the US for computer science, specifically in databases where I was interested. So amazing opportunity. I mean, next, let's talk about something which happened there. So this is our campus. This is our institute building. Okay. I mean, it doesn't look very great here, but it is amazing because it's at a lakefront. It is in Seattle, which is the headquarters of Microsoft. Now, वहाँ पर Amazon भी है, headquarters of Amazon है. Of course, all the big companies वहाँ पर. It's like a huge. It's one of the best, I mean, computer science departments in the US. So I had all that great. I mean, I was like, yeah, life set हो गई यार, मतलब amazing work, right? We got to get here. But something very interesting happened. मतलब life, I mean, this is like the turning point, and many of my friends still think what happened to you after that. So, my two roommates, when I was at University of Washington, one of them was from IIT Hyderabad, one of them was from a very small college in Maharashtra. ठीक है. जैसे अपना मेंटालिटी होता है कि हम IIT में हम सब कुछ आता है, we are the cream of the nation and everybody is writing articles about us. घर पे जाते हैं रिश्तेदार लोग आपके बारे में बड़े-बड़े बातें करते हैं. Right? We are all thinking we are at the we are the best. We are the best. We are the best. Movies are made on us. Articles are written on us. So we are very very happy. But when I met my two roommates, maybe in terms of my knowledge, in technical knowledge, they were not as good. But the knowledge about the country, tremendous knowledge. Tremendous knowledge. मतलब there were like banks of knowledge. उनके पास the understanding they had about the country. जितना उन्होंने ग्राउंड लेवल से काम करके कुछ सीखा है, कितने उन्होंने उनकी फैमिलीज ने मतलब उतने टफ सिचुएशंस फेस किए, आई फेल्ट आई न्यू नथिंग. और पर्सनली आई एट दैट टाइम आई एम ऑलवेज अ पर्सन हु वांट्स टू रीड एंड अंडरस्टैंड. तो रात भर बात करते थे एंड आई जस्ट कीप लिसनिंग टू दिस गाइज व्हाट दे आर सपोज्ड टू से. सो इट वाज वेरी वेरी शॉकिंग फॉर मी. आई फेल्ट वेरी स्मॉल दैट आई जस्ट एंड आई टेल यू वन थिंग, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग व्हिच माय फ्रेंड Shreyas, who is from Maharashtra, told me. He said, you have done your education on my dad's money. Okay? That statement still hits me very hard. We are doing the best education in the country on taxpayers' money. Okay? It's subsidized education, right? It's not, it's very difficult to afford this kind of education. So he said, what are you doing here, dude? मतलब तू कर क्या रहा है यहाँ पर? My dad has logged all his life and has paid taxes for people like you. And you did this and you don't give a damn. फिर कुछ पता नहीं देश के बारे में, देश के प्रॉब्लम्स के बारे में, और तू यहाँ क्या कर रहा है? I mean, why should I pay for you? And you get lost. Okay. So I was like, man, कुछ तो सच बोल रहा है इसमें तो सच. I mean, you can have the arrogance and say I don't care, but somehow I felt that this guy is saying the truth. Very nice guy. I mean, we are still friends. So we started something called Hindu Students Council because in the US, when you are a minority. Right, यहाँ पर हम सब एक हैं, but where we are very small, right, this huge American population, you want to understand about your own culture, your own things. So we formed a small group called the Hindu Students Council, and we did a lot of reading about the country, the culture, the history, the issues, lot of things. We organized lot of talks, lot of festivals, lot of campus events. तो तब तक मुझे पता नहीं था कि I have something called leadership, I have something called organizational capability, क्योंकि हमेशा मैं अपने कंप्यूटर के सामने बैठ के आई वाज डूइंग जस्ट दैट. बट जब मैं लोगों के बीच में गया, started talking to them, learned about them, तो मुझे लगा मेरे बहुत सारी कैपेसिटी है which I can use. So we started this group, it became amazingly popular on campus, did amazing great work. Then me personally, I traveled to many campuses in the country, in the US, and we started a lot of chapters of Hindu Students Council doing different things. And still many of them are still running, a lot of them still know me in the US. So एक leadership capability मेरे में भी है, ये मुझे पता नहीं था. So and when I started reading, I read a lot of things. One of the few defining books which I read, because me being a techie guy, I don't know how many of you have read Tao of Physics. I mean, okay. So you have to be interested in quantum physics, that kind of thing. It's written by a person called Fritjof Capra. He's an Austrian. He's an Austrian क्या बोलते हैं quantum physicist. ठीक है. तो ये किताब somebody just suggested to me कि आप पढ़ो. ठीक है. तो this book relates the Eastern wisdom, मतलब जो भी उपनिषद में लिखा है या भगवद गीता में लिखा है जिसमें, with quantum physics. जो आज जो discoveries हो रही है by the top tier institutes in the world in quantum physics, that knowledge base already exists in some form in the scriptures. ठीक है. ये अगर कोई बोलेगा तो कोई believe नहीं करेगा. Like I am not a person who believes such things. ठीक है. I don't believe. But it is a very popular book. A lot of people have read it. He himself is a very renowned physicist. तो वो पढ़ने से I will say कि मतलब it was mind blowing for me. It might not be mind blowing for all of you. It depends on your interest. But books have changed me to a large extent, and this book was amazing, amazing book. So shocking in many aspects. So that I read. Of course, Swami Vivekananda, through our reading groups, we came to know about it. We read a lot of things about him. Some of them are very philosophical, कुछ समझ में नहीं आता है. But one very practical book, why I put this thing here, which I want all of you to read. It's very easy to read. It's called Lectures from Colombo to Almora. This is after Swamiji gave his talk in the World Parliament of Religions and he came back to India. And he travelled from Colombo to Almora giving lectures all across the country. So each lecture is written down there. 2-3 pages each, you can easily finish it in 15-20 minutes. So, an amazing clarity about that person, what vision he had about India, the passion he talks, what he believes youth should do. So, I mean again, the books which really changed me a lot. So that one of them was that, and I would recommend all of you to take it. It's very easily available. I just saw a stall when I was coming here. Ramakrishna Matta stall is outside. I am definitely sure if there's a bookstall there, this book will be there. Because it's the most popular book which Ramakrishna Matta has ever sold ever. I mean, of all the books. So this is definitely a must read for people. It's not about philosophy. It's totally about India, the youth, what we should be doing, right? And it's of course coming from a great person's mind, so it's very important for us to know. Other thing which I read, how many of you know about Savarkar? You've heard of Savarkar, of course, right? Not given the credit which is due. Very great literary genius, done amazing research on India, and one of the foremost freedom fighters. So he wrote a book on Indian history. It's called The 6 Glorious Epochs of Indian History. Indian history as we don't know it, right? We don't know India. I would say what we have read in our textbooks is not in Indian history. We don't know much about India at all, actually. Why should we know? Who cares? That's different. But if you care to know what is India, if you care to know what is Indian history, you should definitely read this. I mean, he has taken these stories from different parts of the country, talking to people and documenting, not what the Britishers told us. So he talks about 6 different times when India was in crisis and we fought back. Okay, 6 glorious epochs of Indian history, as he calls it. So came to know about India in a totally different perspective. So this is what happened. Other thing happened was, of course, after I finished my masters, I was going through so many things in my head. So one of the things I thought was, I got an offer from Amazon.com. Okay, now in Seattle, that's one of the best companies, and it's still one of the best companies if you want to work in databases, systems, if you understand computer science. So you can imagine getting the best possible offer, which I would want to have. But I didn't join Amazon immediately after I got the offer. So I did something very different, which I want each one of you here to think about. So I had a job offer in hand, which I'm sure a lot of you will have here also, when the placement season starts. I said, I don't want to join, give me a 2 months break. So throughout Alex was, I said, give me 2 months break, I want to do something different. And US companies are accommodative. They said, okay, take it, 2 months break. They said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to go to a country, which is not US, of course not India, somewhere else. They said, okay, fine, you'll do what you want, but you come back 2 months later. Okay. So I talked to a lot of people, I knew some people there. So I went to a country called Suriname. How many of you heard of Suriname? Okay. It's not a very famous country. It has 5 lakh population. If everybody has heard of Brazil, right? It's above Brazil. It's in South America. Very small country, 5 lakh population. The most interesting, the only big achievement probably Suriname has is one of the swimmers got a bronze medal in some Olympics sometime. That's all they know. Nothing else has happened great from that country. So nobody will know about it. But I went to that country because 1/3 of that country's population is Indian. I mean, how many of us can imagine? There's a country called Suriname in South America. 1/3 of its population is from India, and they are from this part of India. They are from UP and Bihar. So they went there in late 1800s. When people didn't know what is crossing the seas, right? Even Vivekananda had not gone to US. They went before that. Okay. So that's very, very interesting according to me. That, and we don't even know, we don't have any relations with them. So they were taken as slave laborers to work in the sugarcane farms of Suriname. Okay. So very interesting. I'll tell you some simple stats about that country. They still speak Bhojpuri. They speak a very unique combination of Bhojpuri, Awadhi, Hindi, English, Dutch combined. Okay. It's a Dutch speaking country. ठीक है, जैसे कि जहाँ यहाँ मैं बात कर रहा हूँ तो मैं हिंदी इंग्लिश मिक्स कर रहा हूँ, तो कैन यू इमेजिन इन 120 years उन लोग में कितना मिक्स हुआ होगा. बट दे स्पीक भोजपुरी. सो मैं जब लैंड करता हूँ, आई टॉक टू सम पीपल, वो कुछ बात कर रहा है, कुछ समझ में आ रहा है, पर कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. ठीक है. इट्स लाइक दिस हनुमान चालीसा जो लिखा है ना, दैट काइंड ऑफ लैंग्वेज. ठीक है. या
I'm from a district called Balia of Uttar Pradesh, and I'm a YGET student of here. And over there, my mother tongue has been Bhojpuri. But in 6th class, I have been a student of Bhojpuri school.
Oh, very good. Congrats. So yeah, you will love that place. I'll tell you why you will love that place. Especially people from this land will love that place because when they went those many years back, they had no contact with the country. Now imagine I pick you up from here and throw you in some other part of the world. There is no way you can go back. There is no telephone, no internet, no TV, nothing at that time. Okay. So they preserved the culture exactly the way they saw it. Okay. So if you want to see how India was in 1800s, you should go there. Especially if our Bhojpuri friend there wants to see how their people were 120 years back. They have frozen the culture because they had no contact. अभी जाके सब TV, Bollywood से things are changing. But at that time they didn't have any of these things. What would these people, so these people were all 30 people in one boat, put in a boat, sent on a ship, sent on a boat for a 30-day journey in the seas, oceans में. ठीक है. What are the things they will carry? I want you to think. What would they carry with them? Because slaves तो they don't give them much access, right? You can imagine it's very bad. They'll put a lot of guys, few women, and they'll send them. ठीक है. They were not allowed to carry anything. But they carried only one thing. Can anybody guess that?
Ramayana.
They carried Ramcharitmanas. Amazing, right? I mean, the kind of faith they have on that and we don't have. So, they carried only that. Even to this day, अगर आपने बोला कि कुछ धर्म का काम करना है, they will say मेरे बेटे को ले जाओ. So, take him, get him involved, do whatever. But why? हम जब भारत से आए थे, हम सिर्फ वो लेकर आए. हम उसके लिए काम नहीं करेंगे तो किसके लिए काम करेंगे? We are a product of that. That is our only treasure. If you are working to preserving that and whatever Sri Ram has said, it's great. We would want to support you. So that level of Shraddha, I'll take questions later. Okay. So that level of Shraddha they have on that, and it was very amazing for me to see. Very interesting things. They don't have surnames. They have surnames from their ancestors, not as the caste-specific surnames we have now. They put some flags outside their homes after they do puja. If you do Hanuman puja, you put a saffron flag. If you do a Devi puja, you put a black flag. So everybody knows how many pujas that they have done. Very interesting stories. I mean, fascinating stuff. And they all speak Dutch in the university there. There was just one university that didn't have a computer science department. Okay. So I was supposed to go and tell them to start a computer science department. Okay. So I took some sessions for the faculty. I took some sessions for students, to build this enthusiasm towards computers in that university there. Whole country has only one university, and that doesn't have a computer science department. So I tried doing that, it was not a success, but I enjoyed it. So I came back, Then my thoughts, I joined Amazon. मतलब Amazon was very amazing company, very demanding. Amazon is the world's biggest online retailer, right? So they do the maximum business. So I was in the databases side. तो उसमें क्या होता है कि the database goes down, the website goes down. If website goes down, every minute the company loses $1 million. ठीक है? So my job is to ensure the database never goes down. It is very stressful because they might wake me up in the middle of the night and call me, ये ठीक करो, वो ठीक करो. Very very challenging job. But I enjoyed it a lot. But what I realized finally is I am not a person who can sit behind a desk and work. कोई और मुझे आइडियाज दे रहा है और मैं उसके आइडियाज पे काम कर रहा हूँ. वो कंपनी के सीईओ का जो विजन है, उसका विजन है कि भाई मुझे इतने जूते बेचने इस क्वार्टर में, और पूरी कंपनी जोड़ तोड़ लगा के वो बेचेगी, क्योंकि दैट इज द बिजनेस ना. बिजनेस तो वही है. इट इज नॉट माई ड्रीम, इट इज नॉट माई विजन. ये जो चाहता है हमें सब पता है, सब कुत्तों के साथ काम करते हैं, राइट. दिस इज नॉट माई थिंग. लॉट ऑफ पीपल एंजॉय, पर वो मुझे नहीं जमता है. And sitting behind this computer for 12 hours in a day doing something, and whatever I did during my college days at Hindu Students Council, वो यहाँ पर नहीं हो रहा है. I'm not enjoying it. So I decided I'll come back to India. Now I had almost spent 5 years in US. It was a very very difficult decision because after 5 years in US, you are eligible for something called a green card. Okay, and you are hitting a marriageable age. ठीक है, and आपके लिए घर पे रिश्ते ढूंढते हैं, वो पूछते कहाँ है, बच्चा यूएस में है, ठीक है, ऑल दिस थिंग्स हैपन. तो आई एम थिंकिंग नाउ कि वापस जाना चाहिए क्या, वापस जाके क्या करना चाहिए. तो आई एम जस्ट थिंकिंग एंड आई एम डूइंग सम रीडिंग. सो व्हेन आई डू अ लॉट ऑफ रीडिंग, आई केम अक्रॉस दिस बुक. पीपल मस्ट हैव हर्ड ऑफ मोहम्मद यूनुस. ही वाज अ स्टार एट दैट टाइम बिकॉज 2005 नोबेल पीस प्राइज he won for something called microcredit, microfinance, the Grameen Bank, okay, in Bangladesh. So I read all his books and I really loved what he said. I mean, he's saying how you can do well for others and still do well for yourself. Okay? So it's a social business. How you give loans, micro loans to people who cannot have access to loans. So I read that book, Banker to the Poor. It totally changed my thinking. So I thought social entrepreneurship is the way to go. मतलब I'll go back to India. I don't know, I can't start Grameen Bank, but I'll do something on those lines. So social enterprise, social entrepreneurship was very very popular after Grameen Bank won the Nobel Peace Prize. So I got highly inspired. So I'm sitting at home one day and I just write my resignation letter to my manager. घर से बैठे बैठे लैपटॉप पे लिख दिया मैंने, ठीक है, कि भाई आई एम गोइंग बैक, यू वांट 2 weeks notice, I'll give you 2 weeks notice. So this is a very shocking decision. मतलब decisions to come back to India are not made so easily. But this is an emotional decision. You cannot इसमें logic के खिलाफ, everything is against the logic because you are working for the best company, you are in a very good position, everything is going for you, right? अभी क्या है यार, what else do you want in life? जो हमारे घर में settle जो कुछ है ना, settle, तो settle को check mark हो गया, he settled now. So everything is settled now. What's the problem? Why are you unsettling yourself again? But I thought I should unsettle myself because from within I was unsettled. Everybody else must have thought he's settled, but I am not feeling comfortable. So I just quit, and in 2 days time I fly back to India. Okay? And according to me, that was the greatest decision I took in my life. It was difficult, but difficult decisions are taken impulsively, right? बहुत ही टफ. लास्ट ओवर में 5 रन मार रहे हैं तो धोनी जोगिंदर सिंह को देगा बॉल. Who would have thought of that? Nobody would have thought of that, right? You have to take it. You have to take a decision. You have to take it at the spur of the moment. Took it. I didn't argue too much कि क्या करना चाहिए क्या नहीं करना चाहिए. I just came back. Greatest thing, parents are very happy. ठीक है, क्योंकि 2 लड़के हैं, एक तो बाहर, दोनों बाहर थे, तो इसे एक तो आ गया वापस, अच्छा खुश, राइट. हमें हमारे देखभाल करने के लिए कोई आ गया, राइट. They're very happy. I'll tell you maybe I'll talk about it later, but one of the most liberating moments of my life. क्योंकि you have quit the US, you have quit your job, you are coming back to India not knowing what you will do. So it should be a very confusing position, right? You should be confused, क्या करना है. But when you are not doing anything and you have the whole blackboard empty, the canvas is blank, you can paint whatever you want. The ultimate freedom का experience. So I came back. I'll just go next and say. So I came back in 2009 September end. Okay. So one of the first places I visited. I mean, अब क्या करना है मुझे कोई आइडिया नहीं है. So a lot of people were, when I was discussing in the afternoon, students are confused what to do in life, what to do next, insecurity की feeling है. So what I did what Vivekananda did, travel the country. Okay, if you want to know what you are, what you want to do, you have to travel. Travel. So I traveled. So I just traveled a lot of places. I just put one pic actually. This pic, I don't know if you can see, it says Lower Dibang Valley, Arunachal Pradesh, India. Okay. Now this place is at the border of Arunachal and China. From there you get to China border. So there's a person there. His name is Vijay Swami. Nobody will know of him, but if you search on the net, you'll find it. Definitely you should search for the thing Rewatch. Okay. So you'll know what is Rewatch. So this guy is starting a university in Arunachal Pradesh, in the middle of the tribal area, on China border. ठीक है, मेरे को बहुत ही fascinating लगा हुआ idea. What he's doing? Research area totally different. He wants to research the tribes. ठीक है. तो this guy gives me an offer कि आप आकर यहाँ पर हम दोनों साथ में यूनिवर्सिटी खड़ा करते हैं. It's very challenging. I love it. ठीक है. Arunachal is a very difficult place. There is no good roads access. There is no development. पानी बिजली तो मे बी यूपी से भी बदतर है, right? So it is very bad. I mean, but it's very beautiful. It's a new challenging project. The project which will have generations of impact. अगर करेंगे तो. So he gives me that offer. I just say, okay, think about it. I traveled to a lot of things. I did a lot of things. I stayed in very difficult places and all that. Finally, what I understood is by meeting lot of youth, lot of them want to do something. हमें कुछ करना है, हमें कुछ करना है, हमें कुछ करना है. हमें ये नहीं पता कि हमें क्या करना है, हमें ये नहीं पता कि कैसे करना है, हमारे पास समय कम है. So all these things people told me. कि और दूसरी तरफ people who are doing social work, they are all saying we need youth, we need youth, we need youth, we need your ideas, we need more and more ideas, we need more and more technology, we want to do more. So when so many people are willing to offer their help and so many people are wanting their help, why is it not happening? The simple thing is there is no way to bridge this. ठीक है? आप लोग just in this classroom there is so much of talent, so much of knowledge. What you have in each one of you, lot of people outside need it. They don't know how to reach you. You don't know how to reach them. That's the problem. That's all. तो इन दोनों को bridge कर सकते हैं क्या? So that was the idea. And then with that we started something called Youth for Seva. So Youth for Seva is a platform. Youth for Seva is trying to connect people who want to do help to people who need their help. In very simple activities, जो भी कर सकते हैं. So I'll not talk about much, but it has started in Bangalore first, then in Hyderabad I started, then it went to Chennai, it went to Delhi, it went to Mumbai. Now this year we're planning to start in 15 more cities. Hopefully Kanpur will be one of them. So we want to start. There's so much of interest. My impression of Indian youth was ये सब टाइम पास है, कोई कुछ नहीं करेगा, सब मतलब मूवी देखते हैं, पब जाते हैं, कोई यूथ को किसी को समाज के प्रति इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. That was my feeling. But when I went and talked to people, very different situation, which you can see today also how things are changing. So we formed a group. It became very big. We are involving thousands and thousands of volunteers across the country doing different things. I put this very interesting picture here because anyway, can people say where that picture is from? Huh? If you're confident, shout. Why are you shy? Sorry? Tell me loudly. Hyderabad? Hyderabad doesn't have hills like that at the back. Huh? कोई भी guess मारो यार, there's no wrong answer. It's not Arunachal. It is not Uttarakhand. It is Kashmir, you can say. Tololing किसने सुना है? Tololing, Tiger Hill. Okay. This is Dras. Okay. Dras sector, Lakshmi, they say this guy is climbing up, Tiger Hill जीतना है, all those things. So I'm just giving you the way the whole life turned around for me. So what we did, of the so many things Youth for Seva did all across the country, one of the things we did is 26 July is called Kargil Vijay Divas. Okay. This was the 13th anniversary of Kargil Vijay Divas, 26 July. So what we did, 12 of us, of course the whole group was involved. I think it was 4,363 days since we won the Kargil war. We took 4,366 signatures or messages from people across the country on a 100-meter sheet. We had a huge sheet and we took signatures of all these people for wishing our jawans on the borders. Okay. and we carried this 100-meter sheet all the way to Kargil. Okay, this is Dras. Dras has a war memorial, okay, where every year they do some ceremony, okay. But to this day, till we went, no civilian group has ever gone to Dras, in the Dras ceremony, okay. So, we have no contact. मतलब can you imagine the power of youth? नहीं पता. तो बहुत मनाने के बाद वो बोलते हैं ठीक है 10 मिनट आप देख कर आ सकते हैं अंदर. So we go in and we talk to few of the people. Not Bana Singh, but one more Paramveer Chakra, the only other one alive, Yogendra Singh Yadav was there. If you have seen the movie, if you are fascinated by it, LOC Kargil, if you have seen, amazing thing. We can see Tiger Hill right in front of us, and great thing. So then the Jawans say, or the people who were there, they say, you stay with us. I mean, you are not going back. This has never happened before. So they make us stay there. We attend the ceremony. The 100-meter sheet which we carried from the rest of the country is still in the Dras War Memorial. It is the only civilian thing which is there. You can go, you can scroll it, and you can read all the messages from across the country. That is the highest honor we got. So it is there on the Dras War Memorial today. And they host us in their camps. They cook food for us. They do a lot of party, dance, all those things with them. So they are so impressed, and we are so happy that we could do this. Okay. What I am saying is, in the 1999 Kargil war, where I didn't care a damn about who I was and what this whole thing is happening, about 12 years later, I am in Dras now, the same place the war happened, and I am like crying with tears, meeting all these people. So a lot of transformation happened, and the whole team is super excited. We do a lot of great things, and we come back. Then we do other things. We do a lot of trips like this. Maybe you can go next. We have some more things. So this is from Uttarakhand. People are guessing. So this is from Uttarakhand. We are there about 3 months back. Team of 25 volunteers from across the country. We did a 12-day tour. We did a lot of relief work in Uttarakhand. I mean, very challenging. We are very fortunate. We didn't lose anybody. It was that bad. Like you can see landslides like this, rocks falling, people trying to cross. This guy has a video camera in his hand. So we did a lot of fascinating work like this, and then we do a lot of small things like we distribute school bags to children. We do teaching in government schools. We clean our own streets. So we have designed a variety of activities in Youth for Seva. For somebody you can give 2 hours a week, to somebody you can give maybe 20 hours a week. For all types of people, different types of activity, lot of interesting, passionate, adventurous, whatever youth loves, right? We have designed activities, and the response has been tremendous all across the country. So whoever thought Seva is boring, not interesting, is not like that. It is a lot of fun, lot of enjoyment. But the one thing I have seen maybe thousands of volunteers come out and do things. Not a single person has said, "Arey bore ho gaya yaar." You might go watch a movie, come back and say, "Bore ho gaya, paisa waste ho gaya." You might go to a big restaurant, eat some food, come back and say, "Arey bekar, mirch kam thi, namak zyada tha," whatever. But nobody who has done volunteer work across the world, I have seen, has come back and said, "Bore ho gaya." So what is the problem? If the activity is so exciting, so much fun, so much learning and enjoyment, so why are we not doing it? So more and more people are joining us, they are doing things, and we are spreading Youth for Seva across. So yeah, I'll not talk about deeply about Youth for Seva. Currently we are in 5 cities, and lot of colleges, lot of young professionals, lot of corporates, multinationals, lot of them are coming out and volunteering, doing different things. We are into education, health, environment, disability, lot of different activities. People who are interested, I can talk in more detail. Of course, you can check out the website, youthforseva.org. We'll go next. This is some media coverage. This is all fine. I mean, when you do good work and youth is involved, of course, you get a lot of coverage. So this is some of it. We'll go next. Right. So one more thing, very important. See, if you understand the mindset when I am coming back from the US and doing things. Suppose I come back. Just imagine my plight. I am from a middle class family. I did BTech computer science. I worked for Amazon. I came back. Then, when I'm in Hyderabad, I don't know after I come back what I will do. So if I go to any party, रिश्तेदार लोग क्या पूछते हैं, बेटा क्या करते हो? What should I say? I don't have an answer. I'm thinking ढूंढ रहा हूँ क्या करना है, सोच रहा हूँ, right? घूम रहा हूँ. But what I'm doing actually, right? But they'll not understand. You are a failure, right? You are a failure because आपका पूरा एजुकेशन, आपका पूरा जो एक्सपीरियंस है लाइफ का, आपने बस ऐसे व्यर्थ उड़ा दिया, आप क्या कर रहे हैं, राइट? They look at you like a loser, but you know you are not a loser because you are choosing to do this. So, and throughout the journey of Youth for Seva, especially for the past 3-4 years I have been with it, a lot of balance is needed to have clarity in your mind about why you are doing this. Once you know why you are doing it, how to do it, what to do is all very clear. So one of the greatest things again which happened to me was I read this book called Mystic Musings. It's a must read if anybody of you is interested into spirituality. Even if you are not into anything, it is a very, very amazing book. So I used to have a lot of free time, कुछ काम नहीं था, so I used to just go into these bookstores, जो crossword, landmark वगैरह रहता है ना, वहाँ पे they allow you to go and read books. So I'll just take a book and sit and read. So I just picked up this book by mistake, maybe, I don't know. I just picked up this book and reading, and I was very, very fascinated by what this person, Jagdish Vasudev Sadguru Vasudev, he had to say about spirituality and yoga. So I took up a lot of yoga, I still practice a lot of yoga, and that has given me a lot of balance in life. It has given me clarity about what I am doing. I mean, without that I would not be here, because there's so much of confusion when you're taking difficult decisions like this. I still practice a lot of yoga, so yes, some techniques to do that. So, but anyway, it's a must read. Even if you don't want to practice yoga, it's a must read if you want to have any inclination towards something beyond material. Right, so when they invited me here, they asked me to talk about social entrepreneurship, and I have not yet talked about social entrepreneurship. So social entrepreneurship, I have given a lot of talks, but what I felt about social entrepreneurship is it's only a fancy idea. I have not seen a single IITian coming out and getting involved in social entrepreneurship. So I think it is, it is very different. What I will say is, so again going back and when I do reading, what Sadhguru has got to say is, whether you manufacture a safety pin, a computer or a spaceship, or you teach people to meditate, there is only one business in the world, the business of human well-being. Whatever business you do, whatever you do in life. I was talking to my friends here about research. What pissed me off big time about research in US was, it's all to publish papers. Very little about it is about people, they don't care. It's about how many papers you can publish, how many, you can get the star marks on yourself, get grants from the US government, do more publishing. The relevance to society is very minimal in academia in the US and growingly in India also. So, whatever you do in life, if you just keep this in mind, that I am doing this for the welfare of the people, you might earn for yourself, there's no problem about that. He's saying whether you manufacture a safety pin or you manufacture a spaceship, whatever you do, just think that you're doing it for human welfare. With that mindset you do it. If you're doing research, if whatever you're doing a project, PDP project, if you think I'm doing it for the welfare of others, it's a totally different way of doing things. So, after that I don't talk about social entrepreneurship, because even if I open a restaurant, if I do it well, and if I do it thinking that the person who's eating the food is like my brother or sister, then I will do it well. I will earn money out of it. But for everything you do, if you think you're doing it for society in some larger context, then you will do it well. So, businesses cannot be classified anymore. Are they social or not social? They have to be social. That should be the mindset of every big business leader out there. That's what he's got to say. So he says, as long as business leaders remain aware of this fact, and that human well-being is the only purpose of doing business, business is fine. Don't be thinking that business is bad. Just do business, but always think of the people when you're doing business. So, next. So this April, I'll be joining ISB. You must have heard of ISB, Indian School of Business. So that is like a top business school in the country. It's among the top 20 in the world. So why I'm doing this is again the same reason. I think we have to understand that there's nothing wrong in earning money. Okay. Doing seva matlab अरे शोभित क्या है यार ये कैसे हो सकता है सब कुछ छोड़ छाड़ के. Nothing wrong about earning money and all those things. It's about how you can do good to the maximum number of people. So I realized I'm doing something with Youth for Seva, which is good, but I want to do a lot more and reach out to many more people. So for that I have to go back to school again, and which is maybe after 8 years I'll be going back and sitting in a classroom, and I'll be learning about how to do business. And I might do business or I might not do it, but I want to understand how things are done. So I thought it's a good way to go back and learn again. So I thought I have the technical knowledge, all those things. I need more of the business education. So I'll be going back to ISB in April of this year. It's a 1-year course. I want to come back and do much more. So that's the goal of going there. Right, so I told you all this big story. It sounds like a fairy tale. But some things I have learned, which I think, they might not be right. I mean, this is my learning. But just thinking about it, I wrote some things down. Yeah, so this is the first most important thing which I believe. You have to go beyond competition. I learned it the very hard way. What happened was, when you have to get through JEE, especially in the kind of coaching centers we all go through, and from childhood I have been groomed, you have to talk, padhai likha karo, you have to beat others. So you're sitting in this coaching center, you know among these 3 people in the row, one of you will make it, so hopefully it is you. So you're always in that competitive feeling. You get that, and always in life, after getting to IIT also as very competitive, relative grading, everybody knows this big story. So it's always about beating the guy next to you. The company comes for placement, they will take away 10-20 people, you have to be one of them. If you apply to grad school, there will be 4 or 5 people who get in from the college, you have to be one of them. So competition, till the day I resigned from Amazon, I was always in competition. The moment I realized we should not be in the competition, that's when I did best in life. I mean, कोई लंगड़ा आदमी चल रहा है, आप उससे तेज चलने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. It's just as simple as that. I mean, maybe you can fly, you don't know. Maybe you can fly, but how will you ever know you will fly? You always try to beat the guy beside you. So you have to quit the race and think about it yourself. So that was a very key decision, and perhaps the happiest day of my life, because all IT employees out there, they carry these laptops, bags on their neck, go to office, come back. The day I walked out of Amazon without a laptop bag on me and a badge, right? Not knowing what I will do tomorrow, but having the ultimate freedom to do whatever I want. Very happy. I mean, I still remember those days, and it gives me a lot of confidence. So that was the first thing I would want all of you to think. I mean, you might not be thinking as competitively as me, but think beyond competition. Don't think of beating the guy next to you. There's no point. There's no success there. You'll always try to beat this guy, then that guy, then that guy. You will never get anywhere. So you have to think beyond competition, think freely. Okay? Yeah. Right. The other thing I felt, whatever, right? The reason why I'm here, you're inviting me, which I don't have any great credentials to be here, but I'm still here, is if you think what beyond me, इसमें मुझे क्या मिलेगा? हर चीज में इसमें मुझे क्या मिलेगा? इसमें मुझे क्या मिलेगा? इसमें मुझे क्या मिलेगा? But you take any great person in life, anybody across the world, across time. The only people who became great and society accepts them as great is the people who thought beyond themselves. Okay? Even if you hear Tendulkar's final speech, okay? He's not saying I've played for the records. I've played for the country. Okay? You take a sports person, you take a scientist, you take anybody in the world, a businessman, people who have thought beyond themselves have done amazingly well. Steve Jobs, whatever great innovations, he didn't think about, will my company earn the profit? How do I make technology cute, friendly to everybody? So that's how he thought about it. So that's how he became great. So you have to think beyond yourself. But when we are here in this institute, you always think about myself. मुझे क्या मिलेगा, मुझे क्या मिलेगा, मुझे क्या मिलेगा. So you will be a loser. And if you are aspiring for greatness, you have to think beyond yourself. This is one more lesson I have learned. Yeah. Other things explore. I mean, if you think about it, till the age of maybe 30, 32, you have freedom, actually. Our society, that way, like once you get into a family structure, you have a lot of commitments, your parents get old, we are in a family system, a lot of responsibilities come upon you. So we are dealing with very short span of time, maybe 22 to 32 is the 10 years of age we have, where we can do a lot of things. But we don't make the best use of this time at all. Matlab, we just do something else. मतलब 32 साल के बाद और 35 साल के बाद becomes very difficult. Even though, first of all, it's difficult to change your mind. Even if your mind changes, the circumstance might not allow you to take a decision. जितना experiment करना है अभी कर लो. It's the best time, and nothing is lost. Nothing is lost, I'll tell you. Everybody in the world who has done something different has learned something. Nobody has ever said it's a failure. कि मैंने गलत कदम लिया है. So they have always come back with a lot of happiness about what they have done. If you ask me, शोभित आपने कुछ गलती किया क्या? I would not say. Every moment was a very difficult decision, but I enjoyed after the decision. So we should make वो risk taking capacity अभी है समय. You take a break for a year, कुछ भी नहीं जाएगा लाइफ में, कुछ भी नहीं जाएगा. और वो ब्रेक नहीं लेंगे तो बहुत कुछ जाएगा. ये मैं बोलता हूँ. Take a break after you finish your BTech or whatever MTech you are doing. Take a break for a year, do something different and come back. नौकरी मिल जाएगी, ये भी मिल जाएगी, सब हो जाएगा. कोई बड़ा प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. I mean, वो एक साल अगर आपने ब्रेक नहीं लिया या फिर 2 महीने ब्रेक नहीं लिया आपने या 3 महीने ब्रेक नहीं लिया आपने, फिर आपको कभी ब्रेक लेने का मौका नहीं मिलेगा. Every day becomes more difficult. So you have to take a break whenever you want. So I'm going back to studies now. उसके बाद क्या करूँगा I don't know. But I did youth for Seva for 4 years. बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला. That break is very important and explore in that break. So you get a lot of clarity as I believe. We'll go one more next. Inner reflection, this is something I feel youth today is not doing. मतलब इतना फास्ट लाइफ हो गया है, इतना इंफॉर्मेशन ओवरडोज हो गया है, एवरीथिंग इज एक्सेसिबल, यू जस्ट सर्च एंड यू फाइंड इट. कोई भी रुक के ब्रेक मार के सोच नहीं रहा है कि व्हाट शुड आई बी डूइंग. आई मीन एवरीबॉडी गोज, आई मीन इट्स नॉट टू टेक एन एग्जांपल फ्रॉम अ मूवी, बट व्हाई आई एम टेकिंग द 3 Idiots example. It's based on IITians. It's kind of based on reality, if not exactly on reality. Everybody watches the movie. Everybody comes back, claps and says it's great. Not a single one follows it. Okay. Everybody agrees with the concept also. कि सही है, हमें कुछ करना चाहिए तो हमारा inner calling है. क्योंकि हमने कभी समय दिया ही नहीं है कि रुक के सोचना है कि क्या करना है. वो रेस में ही लगे हैं. रेस के बाहर स्टेप आउट करके 10 मिनट, 10 दिन कुछ नहीं करके सोचेंगे कि क्या करना है. There is no introspection, there is no thinking. It's all about peer pressure. ये क्या कर रहा है, वो क्या कर रहा है, या फिर पेरेंट्स क्या बोल रहे हैं, या फिर टीचर क्या बोल रही है. बस खुद के कोई विचार नहीं है क्या करना चाहिए. So you have to take a break, and that's when you will find what you want to do. So that is what, and creativity आता है उससे. You do things very differently. वरना जो नेट पे पढ़ा वो कर दिया, कॉपी पेस्ट हो गया, असाइनमेंट खत्म हो गया, चलते रहता है. I mean it's all okay, it's all fine. I did that as well. Nothing up with that. But it never gets you anywhere in the long run. So you want to do something just to get a grades, or you want to do something longer in life which you learn. And that's the end of the presentation. This is my email ID and my phone number. What I want each one of you to do, I mean I'll ask, of course I think we have time for questions, right? So we'll take few questions for maybe about 15 minutes. But some of you might feel hesitant to ask some questions. Some of you would want to talk to me in great detail. You can always call me. You can always write to me on email. I'm on Facebook. I'm not on LinkedIn and all that, but I'm at least on Facebook. But it would be good if you write me an email. I'm more active on email than Facebook, so it would be good if you. But I would want you to ask me questions. What you think in your mind? Feel free, okay? Well, if you see, I was like you when I was 10 years back. So I totally understand the mindset what you guys are thinking. So I would want to, why do I come, why should I come so far, talk to you people, right? Because I want to connect to you, talk back. If something like this had happened when I was at IIT Bombay, maybe it happened also actually. Maybe I was one of those people who's not here. Okay, I gave a damn about such things at that time. So I never had the opportunity. There was just one talk by one professor called Milind Soni. Very good prof at that time. He just didn't take a session that day, he didn't take a lecture, but he told us something about herd mentality. He said herd mentality, now it's very popular, what herd mentality is. सामने वाली भैंस जा रही है, सब लोग वहीं जाते हैं. So, but at that time क्या तो फाट मार रहा है यार, क्या है, कुछ मजा नहीं आया. That is the kind of thinking, अरे कुछ तो lecture मार दिया इसने. But that thing still stuck to my mind. I mean, just a small intervention at this age, if somebody gives us a direction, in the long run it can change lives. So I think you're all fortunate. I don't know if I was of any use to you people, but still it might just trigger a thought somewhere कि ऐसा भी कुछ हो सकता है. So I'd want you guys to ask me questions, and so that hopefully I can answer to the best of my capacity.
Sir, I am Prashant, 4th year student. I had a question. Don't you think that if the society didn't force us into this competitive environment, we would have done better on all the fronts that you talked about, like all the mistakes that we did? So
Okay.
we would have introspected more, and we would have thought about community service.
Oh, okay. It's see the question if people get it. सोसाइटी ने हमें फोर्स किया है टू थिंक कॉम्पिटिटिवली. आई थिंक शुड गेट आउट ऑफ माइंडसेट. ऐसा नहीं है. मतलब जब सोसाइटी में ऑफ कोर्स व्हेन रिसोर्स क्रंच इज देयर, राइट, व्हेन सीट्स आर लेस इन आईआईटी, ऑफ कोर्स जॉब्स आर लेस, सो देयर विल बी कंपटीशन. कंपटीशन कैन नॉट बी अवॉइडेड. इट इज अप टू अस. रेस में आपको किसी ने पुश नहीं किया, आपने खुद ज्वाइन किया है. लेट अस एक्सेप्ट दैट फैक्ट. आफ्टर यू assuming you are in the race now, अपने रेस में कूद गए अभी, रेस के बाहर जाना भी आपके पास ऑप्शन है. You can step out of the race if you want any time. Society will not stop you. You do it. You do it. There will be circumstances, you have to face them. But if the option is always open, whether you will step out of the race. Can we do that? Do we have the courage to do it? Do we have the clarity in life to do it? That is the question. So I think you should think about it. Let us not push the blame on society. सोसाइटी के वजह से मैं हम आज इधर है, कोई सेवा के बारे में नहीं सोचता, ऐसा नहीं है. हमारी भी चॉइस है उसमें. अगर हम वो चॉइस ना ले तो इट्स आवर चॉइस. दैट्स व्हाई मैट्रिक्स इज माय फेवरेट मूवी. इट्स ऑलवेज अबाउट चॉइस. व्हाट इज योर चॉइस? यू कैन टेक अ चॉइस नाउ. टेक द ब्लू पिल और द रेड पिल, राइट, द फेमस सीन. यू कैन टेक द ब्लू पिल एनी टाइम. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. सो इट इज अबाउट योर चॉइस. सो आई वुड थिंक, I mean, for that you need courage, you need clarity. For clarity you need to do a lot of introspection, lot of reading. Oh, you can work on it and you can build that courage to do it. Let us not push the blame on somebody else. Take it back. पूछिए. हाँ, हिंदी में सवाल पूछ सकते हैं. मतलब I'm sorry कि मैं इंग्लिश में बात कर रहा हूँ, पर I would also want to. We'll take the next question.
Sir, I have 2-3 questions. First of all, how can I join this organization? What is the direct process? Then, what are the cities in which it is working right now? Because you said that it is not working in Kanpur. So, in which city I can go and work? And what are the activities that I get to do? Like that.
So, simple thing, I think first you should just go to the website, youthforseva.org, register yourself, write me an email. There's nothing in Kanpur yet, but we know other organizations in Kanpur doing good work, so I can put you in touch. If you are willing, you can also start a Kanpur chapter. We'll tell you how to start something in Kanpur, or wherever your hometown is, right? We also have a process to start new chapters, so we can tell you from wherever you are. It's an open invitation to all of you. If you want to start something like this, you want to involve youth, that is college students, young professionals, into volunteering work, seva work, in your respective cities or the places you are studying, you can write to me and tell me how to do it. So that is the next thing. Activities are based on need. You have to understand what is the need. A need in Kanpur might be different from a need in Hyderabad. Okay. So we first figure out what are the needs, what are the things we can fulfill. We can't solve all the big problems. What are small problems we can solve? And that's how we design the activities. So activities are very simple, which can be done in 2 to 3 hours. And they are not very, require a lot of skill, a lot of training. Simple teaching in schools, doing some sapling plantations, health activities. Some small things if we do, a lot of change happens. If we do it together. Those are the activities. Website has all the information on that. Okay, we'll take
Sir, after 4 years of rigorous social service, you chose to join ISB. Sir, what was the motivation behind this decision? Because if not you, one might digress into some other pursuits other than social service, definitely. And have you introspected in this regard as after maybe your ISB education, what have you thought?
Okay, so why to do ISB? That's also a choice. Of course, I have thought about why I want to do ISB. See, what I felt when I started doing Youth for Seva work is the response is very great. It's tremendous. A lot of people come to you. A lot of course, funds get raised. A lot of things happen. And without having the right managerial skills, you can't manage things. Either you are an inbuilt great manager by your own nature, but that will only take you to some level. What I have realized myself, that I can come to some level. But if I want Youth for Seva to run in 50 cities in the country, I would want to do some learning. So for that, a lot of different things are there. One of them is a good business school education. Because you see, I find small companies, how they do amazingly well, how they scale, right? So they teach you techniques on how and better managerial skills. Okay, it will give you a clarity of thinking. Currently, I'm just doing my gut feel. I think I want to do this. It will give you a structure to my thought. So I thought that kind of education is very important for me. So that's the reason I'm doing. I'm doing this not to go and do some other business later on, most likely. To come back to the sector, maybe Youth for Seva, maybe something else, and do something bigger. So in education will take you from year to year, right? What's the difference between a 10th pass student and you? You can do much more than that because you have an education in between. So getting the right education was what I felt at this time is most needed for me. So that's why I'm planning to go there and do something. And I want to come back to the sector and do things in a bigger way. So that's the reason. I saw one more hand there. You had raised your hand? No. Okay. You can take one more question.
So what has been your long-term motivation while you were Youth for Seva or while you were at Amazon or were about to join ISB?
See, there is no motivation. I mean, see, people live life in two different ways. One is through compulsion. Okay, ये करना पड़ रहा है इसलिए कर रहे हैं, ठीक है? I am not that kind of person. I mean, living by choice. So even when I was at IIT, we did many things which others would not do. So living by choice, that is a different level of freedom. You should understand. See, if I know a lot of my colleagues, if at ISB also will be, अरे ये डिग्री के बाद हमारी सैलरी 2x होगी, 10x होगी, 5x होगी, right? Or we'll get this offer, that offer. I'm not doing it like that. Okay. So every decision I have taken, especially post 2009, has been through my choice. I have other options, but thinking about it, what I want to do, why I want to do, then taking that decision. So that helps me do better. So yeah, I mean, I love living like that. So living through my own choice, that is my motivation. And I said little bit of spiritual backing, little bit of blessings of a lot of good people have helped me give that clarity. I mean, वरना क्या होता है इस सेक्टर में lot of people come, भटक भी जाते हैं, कई बार demoralize हो जाते हैं, lot of things happen. I mean, there are so many failures at every step. This is not a 9 to 5 job, right? Where I get a paycheck at the end of the month. There are different things here. So constant, every day is a new adventure. So with that thing, it is difficult, but you need to stay focused. You need to have clarity. For that, you need some kind of backing. If you wake up in the morning, the worst thing for me is not knowing what to do. Okay? If the day I wake up and I realize Youth for Seva is not what I want to do, I leave it. Okay? But when you wake up, you should have a direction, कुछ purpose, कुछ करना है, कुछ दिशा में जाना है. If you can wake up like that every day, I think there is no greater blessing than that. So because it keeps you driven. Other thing by being in this sector which I enjoy the most is that there are people like me who are around me. Okay? All of them, I mean, being in the company of highly inspired people. So this, all of you will not realize now maybe. Once you go and work for a big corporation, right, you'll realize this. People who are sitting there, they are not happy faces. Everybody is cursing the job, everybody looking at the time, when the boss will leave so that I can leave after him. Right, when they see the watch, कि boss कब आएगा, उसके पहले we'll go to office, we'll deliver some quarter end के कुछ results कर देंगे, shortcut ढूंढ लेंगे हर चीज का. I mean, that is wasting life according to me. Maybe it's like there's no purpose. First you're doing something to make somebody else happy. And okay, you'll get the paycheck. Well, there's no passion there. Here, everybody who has come and joined Youth for Seva has a lot of passion. It's a volunteer, right? They have a choice. They can do something else. Why are they here? They are here because they're motivated. So being in the company of such people 24/7, I think there cannot be a greater privilege than that. So that is the best part which keeps you motivated. All of them think like that. So it's very, very good to be in such a company of such people.
You opened Hindu students also, right? So was it for Hindu or Hindu?
It's not for Hindu. I mean, we can take this question in detail, but if you understand the word Hindu in detail, I don't know if you know the history of the word Hindu. It comes from the word Sindhu, right? It's a geographical word. It's not a religious word, right? Hindustan, Hindu Mahasagar, Hindustan Times, which comes here. I just we'll take that question later, but the idea is it's about the culture. Okay, it's about the land, it's about its history, it's about the heritage of the land. All of that in one word, if you want to put it, it's about Hindu. Okay. So the whole goal of Hindu Students Council was to understand India, its culture, its heritage, different things. So it was open for everyone. It's not a religious organization by any standard. I mean, if somebody tell me if it's the last one, it's the last one. Like, tell me. थोड़ा जोर से बोलो यार क्या है?
already been said that failed actors become directors, that sort of thing. So I think competition is best in the world, because unless and until we have competition, we will never try to give our best shot. This is what I think. Anyway.
Tell me one great thing which has happened out of competition. Any person, any company, anything which has done well because of competition. See, you can achieve more by competition. First innings में इतना score हुआ है तो the person who's chasing wants to beat that score, right? Otherwise, there is no motivation to score, you might think. But that's not true. You think of any great thing which has happened in this world, it's not because of competition. It has happened out of free spirit. ठीक है, बाकी there will be a lot of players who come around and try to beat you. But the greatest thing will not happen because of competition. That is my sincere belief. Because the best in you will not come through competition. The best in you will come when you do what you want to do. What is the best in you? So if you try to copy somebody and try to beat them, you will keep doing this, because the next you will do something else and you try to beat that person. So this will keep going on. So it will only happen, the greatest things will happen when you do what you want to do. This is true for everybody. You take Gandhi, you take Martin Luther King, you take Steve Jobs, you take Sachin Tendulkar. None of Sachin Tendulkar didn't walk into the stadium to beat Brian Lara. Okay, he just went there to play out of his passion. Right? Even if the team won, he's happy. Even if he scored a 0. So it's just like that. I mean, it's about totally different thing. It's about not about yourself. If you want to become great, that's what I believe. Right, I understand what you're saying. 2 companies, I want to beat other company. 2 countries, I want to defeat them in the economic growth. All these things, thoughts might be there, which will motivate us to do more. But maybe India has some other talents which China does not have. When will we explore those? If we only think of competition, we'll never explore those. Right? Maybe we have different ways of doing things which China doesn't have. Right? It is good to go and beat China in their GDP growth, but we'll be out of the race if we don't think in a different way. So we have to think what our strengths are and work on them if you want to do well.
Alright, so there may be few of you who still have questions, and there is still much more to learn from Mr. Shobhit Mathur. So I will urge you to please write a mail to him. And for now, I would ask Devanshi to thank Mr. Shobhit Mathur on behalf of IIT Kanpur.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring lecture. I now invite Professor D.P. Mishra to felicitate Mr. Shobhit Mathur with a shawl, memento, and a bouquet.
Let us give him a big hand. He has really wonderful. He is trying to connect the youth to the service of this country and also other people. I must also want to tell you one thing. I've already asked Sukhdeep to talk about little bit 2 minutes. That we are, this Swami Vivekananda actually was having a great desire to rejuvenate his country. But unfortunately, after 150 years, we were not there what he was supposed to be, or what was his imagination. On that occasion, we are trying to look at, we are having one organization known as Awake Mother India. And those people who are from IITK, they might be knowing. And that is basically trying to ask the youth and other people to think about this is our country and we can run it properly. And it is a wonderful, one of the best countries in the entire world. And if you are really interested to do something, you can really join that organization. And I can tell you that website is www.awakemi.weebly.com. I'll just write down. Do you have a chat? www.awakemi.weebly.com. This is basically Awake Mother India. Achha, I think it is there. And this is going to be what my vision is. We want to have a movement across the entire country. Of course, it will take time. And I'm very happy to say that when I was a youth, our youth or my age, they were not that sensitive what you people are today. I'm having faith that our youth at this time can change this country, can make this country a best place in the entire world.